everyone. So, just a heads up, I may be next week not putting out a video. If I do, it's one. There's a lot of stuff still going on a month later. It's health-wise, and, it just really sucks lately. But anyways, life goes on. So, this is my review for an indie film, but also a low-budget film. I forgot what it's called, but I'll have it up. And it is an action thriller that revolves around a ex-Marine sniper who is framed for killing a political person. I forgot what part he plays. In South Africa, I think. And it has a lot of action to it. Now, for the most part, the action is realistic and it's good. It's really good in general, but there's some hokey parts in it that are not really realistic. But you kind of get that. You figure it's going to be like that with indie film, or a low budget film in general. The quality of the camera is, it's not cheap, but it's just on average. And I think that was fine. And there's definitely a lot of martial arts in this. The martial arts were not, overdone or anything. There was like one small part between two cops and this guy, were a little bit hokey in a spot. I couldn't tell if it was CGI or what, but it just felt like how it just was a little too out of the normal. They shot the whole part longer than it was, and they fast forwarded it. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. The acting in here, for the most part, most of them were actually really good. Now, there was two people in here that do not do good acting in this. For starters, the bad guy who's the sniper, who's really this really tall guy, was not believable at all. And he didn't have a whole bunch of parts in here, but it just felt like he was trying too much. Like, really hard. And it was just kind of, it's like, I didn't really like it. I thought it took away a little bit from his character, or just the story in general. And another guy that has way more part in here, and I swear I've seen him in something before. Maybe like something, he comes off like a actor that like in the 90s or 80s was big or something, and then he eventually fell off and just does low budget films. He plays the CIA agent, and he also does not do a good job, but he definitely does somewhat of a better job than the tall guy. But it was a little bit lazy of his acting, or maybe it was just him trying too hard. I couldn't really tell. But some of it was definitely believable, because to the point where it was believable, he was kind of an ass. But I don't know if it was him or his character, to be honest. It was just, I don't know. It's just like he was overzealous, trying to, I don't know. You would have to watch the movie and find out what I'm talking about. I just can't think of specifics on it. And so I did a review of the guy that's from Platoon. He's like in his 60s now, the actor. He, in that movie, I don't remember what it was called, but it was an indie film, and it was horrible all over, and his acting was horrible. But in this one, he plays the dad, and he definitely does a way better job in here with the small parts he has. Definitely way more better, way more dramatic. And his son, the main character in here, I'm not familiar with his acting. I think I've seen him in another indie film recently, but I couldn't tell. He looks like this other guy. It's also an indie film actor. But he's like British and this guy's American. And he does a decent job. It's not like something that stands out as bad. It's just like it's average, and that's really about it. Um, Definitely a lot of cool scenes in here for sure. But there, like I said, some hokey scenes as well. But you kind of overlook that because how good the action is, but then also how well done the story is. They definitely did a good job on the story, and the Asian actress in here, I don't recognize her, but she doesn't talk a lot, so I can't really tell you on her voice acting or vocal wise. But her martial arts and kind of her mood and stuff are good. It's a little bit bland, but it's not too bad. I thought she was a pretty cool character, and by the end of it, it seems like they're going to have a sequel to this. I imagine because it's an indie film, and it definitely got good ratings. There was definitely some over-dramatic parts of her towards in the beginning of her that I didn't like. It was just like kind of typical of like a small budget film type of dramatic acting to it, her stance and whatnot. But overall, I think she did a good job of her part. Everyone did a great job of their part, except for those two guys talking about. The guy in here with glasses, I was trying to figure out what I saw him in. I recognized him in something. And then it occurred to me that he was in the first and second season of Sci-Fi Channel's Van Helsing, which, by the way, I'm not going to check out the fourth season. I don't know if there is, but I didn't check out the third season because the second one was way less budget, and I just, the whole story left me off, and I didn't like it. But I liked season one. Kind of like that one in a way. It was done around Seattle. This one was around Washington State and Vancouver, which was cool, but I really didn't care that much. They didn't harp on too much of that. Or it just wasn't for me, thinking it was that big of a deal compared to other stuff. But overall, great movie for what it was, and I definitely give this 4 out of 5 stars. Please hit that bell icon and hit the sub buttons, hit the like button, and that is my review. I will try to have something out on Monday. I am trying so hard to get stuff out. I really am, but it's so hard this week and last week. So, but enough making excuses. Yeah. Have a good day, everyone. Skål.